Om Tat Sat. Namaste and good evening to all. Shall we listen to one more story by GrandPa? Stories of animals in eminent lives. Bharat, the divine land, has a very long and hoary tradition of sadhus. It's a it's an unbroken lineage of sadhus. They have come in every part of this big land, right from the north, Punjab, to the northeast, Assam, and down to the south, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Sadhus have come in every generation. Sadhus are not sannyasis, renounced to ones. They may be family men, they may be children, they may be the rich, among the poor. The sadhus have come from all professions, all castes. Sadhu is an attitude, is a nobility of the personality. The lineage of Sikh gurus in Punjab and their disciples, the so many devotees of Sri Krishna Jagannath and Sri Kali, Sri Krishna in the eastern part, the deluge of saints, sadhus in Maharashtra and central Bharata, especially during the last 1,000 years, when our country was reeling under Mughal atrocities, Muslim atrocities, and down south we have so many sadhus. Among these, let us today listen to an anecdote in the life of Sri Ekanath. Ekanath lived almost 500, 600 years back in central portions of Maharashtra, present-day Maharashtra. That was the period when Sri Shivaji was establishing his Hindu kingdom, and that was the same period when Mughals in the north, sultans in the south were creating panic, terrorizing the population, trying to control, trying to convert, plunder the temples, destroy the temples. So Ekanath was a very peaceful person. He was never ever, he could be incited to rage or anger. He was very quiet and peaceful. Peace within, contented with self, and joy, full of joy in himself. That was Ekanath. In his childhood, his guru had given him a upadesha. The Paramatman, the Lord, is in every atom every minuscule aspect of this whole creation. Every form of life is manifestation of Paramatman, the God. And there is no differentiation, higher Paramatman and lower Paramatman in various lives. The divisions may appear for our superficial intelligence, but there is oneness within, and Paramatma stays close to, permanently stays with the one who can see it, the one who always puts in effort for the benevolence of other lives, to help other lives, one who has a pure heart, uncontaminated, and one who is peaceful, quiet, who is pure, and Paramatma comes and stays with him. That is what the Guru told young Ekanath. And that was the mantra, lifelong mantra of Ekanath. Once he used to go into the river Godavari, which flew by the village. He used to go in the early hours before sunrise, take a dip, and then come back and resume his daily duties. That was his daily schedule. Those were the days when even an ordinary Muslim, he was tempted to insult a Hindu, to harm a Hindu. Especially, he took it as a pleasure to insult, to harm a sadhu. So he saw sadhu as someone who keeps the Hindu society intact, and he sees the sadhu as someone who is an obstacle in his mission of converting everyone into Islam. An ordinary Muslim saw himself as representative of Islam and wanted to convert everyone around him. That was the attitude, and he had the support of Mughal Muslim rules. So in a small village, when where Ekanath lived, there was a Muslim. He wanted to upset, annoy Ekanath. Ekanath, once in the morning, he went into Godavari, took his bath, and then was returning. He came up the stairs on the bank, and when he reached the bank, this Muslim seated there, he was chewing a betel leaf and betel nut, vettale, pan, and he spat the juice from his mouth on the person of Ekanath. Ekanath, wearing the white cloth, went back into the Godavari, took one more bath, cleaned up the cloth, and came again. This Muslim was adamant. He again spat on Ekanath. Again, Ekanath went back into the river, took the bath, and came back. And this went on and on and on. Sometimes he used to spit betel juice, or sometimes he used to throw dust and animal filth, cow dung, and this went on. as though there was a battle between the patience and the impatience, between forbearance and rage, anger, between violence and non-violence, between pardon and restlessness, between quietness and rudeness, and finally the rude, the violent, the enraged one that has to lose in front of this quiet, this pure and noble soul. So when he came up the stairs, this Muslim, he fell at the feet of Ekanath and begged his pardon. He said, "Please excuse me, I was wrong." Then Ekanath lifted him up, patted on his shoulder and said, "Today is Ekadashi, a very holy day. This Godavari is a holy river. Normally I would just take one dip and go back. No, on this auspicious day, I could bathe in this holy river so many times only because of you. And any divinity accrued in me, any boon, blessing, divine blessing accrued by me due to this act of taking bath so many times before sunrise in the holy river, half of that blessing belongs to you because you were the cause of it." That was the greatness of Ekanath. Once he was taking his bath, when there was a scorpion struggling in water, it was getting immersed, it was dying, its dying moment. Such lives, they spend out signals, they shout, "Save us, save me, save me, save me." But we don't listen to these shouts because we have so many turmoils within, we have so many typhoons, cyclones of worries within. So these subtle sounds don't reach our eyes. But these sadhus, they are plain hearted, they have nothing within, no aspirations, no plans, no targets. So they could listen to, Sant Ekanath could listen to that small, subtle shout of scorpion. He looked around, found the scorpion struggling, so he lifted the scorpion with his palm and wanted to put it on the bank. But the water in the palm drained off, and as soon as the scorpion felt the warmth of a human body, it stung his hand, palm. Naturally, his body is made of muscles and blood and flesh. So he felt the pain. He jerked off his hand and the scorpion fell into the river. And it again started shouting, it again started struggling for life. Then again Ekanath lifted it with his palm with water, but the water drained off. Again the same thing happened. The scorpion stung his palm. Again he jerked his hand, the scorpion fell into the river, and it went on for 2, 3, 4 times. There was an intelligent person standing on the bank like us, intelligent like us. He gave an advice to Ekanath. "Why do you want to save it? It's a creature, a heartless creature, a creature which doesn't want to feel gratitude of your saving, and it goes on stinging you. So let it die in the waters. Why do you want to save it? You fool." That was these words of the gentleman on the bank. Ekanath said, "Yes, it is at its dying moment And even when it is faced with death, it doesn't want to give off, give up its habit of stinging, even at the moment of death. And I am a human. I am a so lower than this creature, scorpion, that I should give up my habit of saving, habit of helping, my quality of compassion, just for the fear of that sting. Oh, what a great word. That was Sant Ekanath. He was unperturbed by so many disturbances of life. And he is a symbolic representative sadhus. We have had so many sadhus in our land. I offer my humblest pranams, hundreds of pranams to these great souls, sadhus, to Sri Sant Ekanath. Let me conclude this story for the day. We'll continue our story with one more story tomorrow. Om Tat Sat.